What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, today we are coming at you with our final World at War Zombies video, and in this one we're going to be ranking every single gun in the game from worst to best. I've had a ton of fun reminiscing through World at War, but we're on to Black Ops 1 next week, and I wanted to end this little bit of the channel with a bang. So yeah, every single gun in World at War Zombies ranked worst to best. Also, if you guys do want to see more zombies content, you can support this video by watching all the way through. It helps us get out there to more people and gets the video just generally promoted. Subscribe, leave a like, and let's get into it. All right, so coming in at number 25, the worst weapon in all of Call of Duty World at War Zombies, maybe all of zombies actually. It's been a while, I haven't ran the stats, but I think this is the worst gun to ever grace zombies. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Springfield. Springfield is a gun we've talked about much in the old days on this channel, and it is really bad. So the Springfield is a bolt action rifle, and it actually shares very similar stats to the Arisaka and the Kar 98K. And while those guns are also very bad, the Springfield somehow manages to be worse. While they all do 100 damage and 200 damage upgraded, this one has a worse headshot multiplier. Instead of 3.5 times, it's 2, which is not very good. You can one-shot zombies on round 1, and that's it. But the thing that makes the Springfield truly terrible is that the iron sights on this weapon are actually off. Really fun, sort of weird little quirk of World at War, but you actually, if you have a really long shot, you need to aim just a little bit off to make it happen. Now, if you're up close, this is usually not an issue, but you will notice at longer distances using this weapon that it misses despite it seeming like you hit. I mean, the iron sights are bad to begin with, and this just makes it even more challenging to use. It's the worst gun in the game. It's possibly the worst gun in all of Call of Duty Zombies. And anyways, moving on to number 24, this is going to be the Arisaka, and then at 23, we have the Kar 98K. Now, these weapons actually have the exact same stats, so it really just comes down to a matter of preference. Same damage, same reload speed, same headshot multiplier, same everything. The only reason that the Kar 98K is going to be higher on this list is because it actually has an upgrade. So how we're basing this video is not only its base version, but also its upgraded version. Kind of like an average of both. Like for example, the Panzerschreck sucks non-upgraded, but it actually gets pretty decent once you pack-a-punch it, so it's gonna fall somewhere in the middle of the road. The Kar 98K has an upgrade, it's got a scoped variant, which is also a little bit stronger, so overall it just beats out the other two poo-poo rifles. It's what they're called in the game files. I definitely didn't just make that up right now. Let's move on. Anyways, coming in at number 22, this is going to be the Colt M1911. All right, people might disagree with me on this one, but I think the Colt is better than any of the 3 starting rifles. Now, they're all quite similar. They'll all get you about as far. The thing and reason why I would say the Colt is just marginally better is that 1, it's better for insta-kill, and 2, it actually gets you more points. On round 3, you can still kill a zombie with 1 clip if you're aiming at the head, and again, you're getting more points out of that. If it happens to be an insta-kill, I would certainly rather a Colt than any of these rifles as well. By round 4, all of these weapons are useless though, so I mean, they're really at the bottom of the tier, and they're, you know, starting weapons for a reason. Now, moving on to our number 21 spot. Believe it or not, I'm actually gonna say this is the flamethrower. So the flamethrower is really bad, yet also one of the best guns in this game. On one hand, it is incredibly slow, does very little damage, and pretty much is useless by round 10, unless you're really good at the game and want to get to a high round on Knocked. On Knocked, this is actually the best weapon for getting you to round 100 because it has unlimited ammo. It's really bad in every other circumstance, and that's why I'm putting it so low. It's really slow to kill, and you're really slow to run with it, so there's just very little situations where it's helpful. The upgraded version on Doris is a little bit better, but even that is still just not very good. Now, moving on to our number 20 spot, this is going to be the M1 Garand. So we're now into the semi-automatic rifle section. The M1 Garand is the worst, basically because it just has the least amount of ammo in its mag. This, the Gewehr, and the Carbine all pretty much do the same amount of damage if we're talking non-upgraded versions, and for that reason, it really comes down to a lot of just the mag. And the M1 Garand only has 8, which can be very difficult once you get past like round 4. At number 19, we have the the Gewehr. The Gewehr has 10 shots, so it gives you a little bit more wiggle room for killing zombies. It's marginally better, but not a whole lot. And then if we weren't counting upgrades, the next weapon probably would be the carbine. But we're gonna have to save that for a sec. Because first of all, not part of the list, I just thought I'd throw in like the Bowie knife, probably sits somewhere around here. It's really good for getting points, and it's a one-shot kill for dogs, but it costs 3,000 points, and you have to get really close to black hole zombies. So it's not great, but it is useful. Moving on to number 17 though, this is the Panzerschreck. Absolute garbage in all respects other than its upgraded form. Once you upgrade it, it shoots 3 automatically, which is really fun. It's actually quite effective too. Not really something for serious use, but it's good for a laugh every now and then. And moving on to number 16, we have the bar gun. I don't know why I always call it the bar gun. It's the bar. It's the Browning automatic rifle. And it's bad. Of all the automatic rifles, this is the lowest ranked for a very good reason. It's just bad. Like, the thing with this weapon is that it's just too weak. The whole point of this weapon is that it shoots a little bit slower, and so it should have maybe a better headshot multiplier or just better damage in general, but it sits pretty much as the same with all the other weapons. Using this thing even by like round 10, it just really falls off and it fails to kill zombies effectively at all. It really benefits from double tap, but even then it's still not great. And actually, moving on to our number 15 spots, I am going to give it up for the carbine. So the carbine completes the trio of the semi-auto rifles and is actually pretty decent. It's got 15 shots per mag, which in and out of itself makes it much better in those like round 3 to 5 scenarios. But the thing is when you pack a punch this, it becomes amazing. So it's called the Widdershins. I don't know about the name, but the weapon itself, whew! So it's automatic, but it's just got beefy shots with a nice headshot multiplier and is really surprisingly good. The only thing that holds this weapon back is just its ammo capacity, which also on the note of gameplay, I should mention that getting it for these types of videos is really hard. So if you happen to be confused about the ammo counts on the gameplay for some of these weapons, we did use mods just to speed up the gameplay acquiring process. Regularly, the Widdershins should have 150 ammo, which is just not enough to sustain yourself. It's sad because it's a really fun weapon to use, but like you run out of that much ammo in a round. Now, moving on to number 14, this is going to be the trench gun. One of only 2 shotguns in World at War, this is an overall very decent weapon. It's great for dogs, and I will give it that credit, but I just think it is the inferior shotgun. Really, in every scenario other than dogs, you're not using a shotgun to sustain yourself. The only scenario that I feel like it makes sense to use a shotgun in World at War is just as a weapon to clear like a single zombie out of your way. I like to use it on those tight staircases and things that you see in a few of the maps. Other than that, it's just not a smart choice. And because the double barrel does more damage, it's just a more reliable weapon. Shotguns best serve themselves as a one shot to get that zombie out of your way and continue on. And sometimes the trench gun feels like you need to land 2 or 3 to get that zombie out of your way. Good for dogs. The upgraded gut shot is really fun to use, but there's no debate, the double barrel is better. Moving on to number 13 though, this is going to be the PTRS. I feel really bad putting the PTRS so low because it's honestly a beast. It's the most powerful regular gun in the game. So its base version does 1,000 damage with a 10 times multiplier. That's 10,000 damage. Upgraded things don't really change a lot, except you get way better mobility, which is huge as it's just really heavy. I think overall the problem with the PTRS is that it just doesn't fit in the game. If it was a little bit lighter to carry and World at War was more of a non-camping game, I think this would work. You see the DSR, which is a really good sniper in Black Ops 2, and it's very useful in late game scenarios. But the PTRS and the Penetrator, they just don't work for World at War. They're fun and they're powerful, they penetrate, but they're just not really effective for this game. Moving on to number 12, we have the FG42. Kind of another disappointing LMG. This thing just needs better stats again. Shoots super fast, but the headshot multiplier, as all the LMGs are, is low. So for those that you don't know, the LMGs have a 3 times, the rifles are 4, and the SMGs are 5, except for the PPSH. And like literally just because of that, the FG is useless. Its stats kind of resemble an SMG, except it's slower and has a worse headshot multiplier. So it's kind of like, why would you use it? Maybe a little bit more ammo, but it's just not really it. And number 11, this is the double barrel. Again, it's a weapon to get zombies out of your way. It's good for killing dogs as well, and it's just really, really beefy. Plus, once you get speed cola, reloading is like not even an issue. And anyways, topping out our number 10 spot, this is going to be the first SMG on our list. It's the MP40. So SMGs certainly dominate this game with their just insane headshot multiplier and high mobility. The MP40 is the worst. And this isn't really like an opinion thing, it's just a factual stat thing. Pretty much all the SMGs have like the exact same stats. 100 damage normally, 200 when upgraded. 4 times headshot multiplier, 5 times when upgraded. But the thing with the MP40 is that it's got a significantly slower fire rate. So it's just like not bad, but why would you use this one when you can use something that shoots faster and kills faster? Like at number 9, the Thompson. So this is one of those weapons that feels amazing. The high fire rate, high damage, and high headshot multiplier, just it feels like even in later rounds, this normal thing rips zombies if you land headshots. The thing is though, is it falls off a little bit once you pack-a-punch it. In comparison, and moving on to number 8, to the Type 100. So Type 100 and Thompson on paper, non-pack-a-punched, exact same weapon. Almost. But once you upgrade it, you see a bit of a difference and the Type 100 starts to shine. So basically, same amount of damage for both of them. The thing is that the Type 100 just has more ammo. Each clip is 60 as compared to 40, and that makes a big difference. It's also got less recoil. So while these weapons are near identical, the Type 100 actually outshines it, at least on paper. They're both amazing guns though, I love them, but yeah. Now at number 7, I'm putting up the STG. So although the STG seems like an SMG, it's actually a rifle, which is weird. It's a lot closer to the Thompson than it is to the carbine, but whatever. I personally think the STG is better than the Type 100 and the Thompson, but it's really up for debate. So the STG has less recoil, better range, more ammo, bigger clip, but it also does slightly less damage overall, which is a bit of a trade-off. And it also has slightly less mobility. So really, despite having different stats, I think these 3 weapons are all very well balanced. And a lot of it does just come up to your play preference and style, or maybe just the circumstances. Anyways, moving on to our number 6 spot. You thought I forgot about something, didn't you? No. I didn't. At number 6, we have the upgraded version of the Colt. So yeah, I know. 2 different spots for the same weapon, but they're not the same weapon. Like one shoots bullets and is one of the worst guns in the game, and the other shoots rockets and is the best gun. It's basically like a completely different weapon, and for that reason, I wanted to kind of give this weapon its own place. The C3000 Biatches is really good. Like round 20, no problem, just destroying everything. It's just an amazingly fun feature of the game that is surprisingly effective at killing zombies. If it had more ammo, I would rank it higher, but you basically get enough ammo for a single round and then you run out, which is sad and not fun. Still though, what a blast to use. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the top 5, and coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the Browning LMG, which followed by that, actually, I may as well just say it, is the MG42. So, I mean, if you want to talk stats, these weapons are almost identical. I mean, we've got 130 damage, 3 times headshot multiplier, 125 shots in the magazine, 500 max ammo. I mean, it's like literally the exact same weapon until you look at fire rates and reload speed. The Browning has a fire rate of 625 rounds per minute, whereas the MG42 is 937. It's way faster. The reload speed on the MG42 is 4 seconds, whereas the Browning is 6. The Browning does have a little bit less recoil, but if you use the MG42 properly, you will get better results. They're both beasts in their outrights, but the MG42 on paper, and I think in practice, is better. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our top 3. This is the PPSH. Oh baby, still like coming back and using this thing. It's such a treat to use this weapon. So the PPSH almost shoots twice as fast as the Thompson. It may have a slightly lower headshot multiplier, but it just doesn't matter because it shoots so fast. It has got as much ammo as the LMGs. It's got the mobility of a freaking SMG. What more do you want? Dude, a PPSH, like sound like a broken record from 2016, but it's just, it's god tier. It's incredible. But of course, we do have 2 wonder weapons in this game, and moving on to our number 2 spot, it is gonna be the ray gun. It's so nice to play a game where the ray gun actually shines. But you know, getting the ray gun in any of these maps is amazing. And when you get it pack-a-punched, it devastates. It's just a fun weapon to use. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, coming in at number 1, it is the Wonder WAW. I mean, the Wonder WAW does unlimited damage. And that's basically why I have to put it here. I mean, it's like part of the reason you can get to 9,000 on Shinonuma. It is bugged into Reese, but on paper, it is a godly weapon. So yeah, I guess depending on the circumstances, the ray gun actually can be quite a bit better, but I would feel bad not putting it at number 1. So yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our list. Holy crap, we just did a ranking everything in zombies. I think first time ever. No, not ever. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was a long one, so thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, all that good stuff. See you soon with some Black Ops 1 content. Peace out, you freaking nerds. Like this thing, it needs, like, I think, like the thing with this